Hi, my name is Queen Zelaya Counts, and today I want to talk about spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening. Normally, I would do this in my altar room or spiritual room that's downstairs, but we got flooded because there's a lot of rain up here in Kentucky where I live at. And so I moved up all my stuff so my stuff wouldn't get wet, especially my cloth and my fabric. Sorry. So now I'm doing this from my little podcasting studio or whatever you want to call this. But anyway, I want to talk to you about spiritual awakening. I'm on TikTok and I see a lot of witches. I see a lot of African spiritualists. I see different people up there posting little videos about spiritual awakening, how when you're awakened spiritually, you're being attacked. Like everything comes out, everything that you suppressed, all of that stuff comes out of you. And the little videos they did are really cute, but it made me think about my own personal spiritual awakening. When you are first waking up and you're leaving the church alone and you're realizing that there is other things out here, other spiritual things, and I'm not talking about religion because there are other religions, but you're waking up inside, you are happy. You're elated. Oh my God. With sometimes for us black women, we want to wear our head wraps. We want to, dress exotic. We want the world to know that yes, we are woke, we conscious, we are spiritual. And I did all of that. But then when the shit start hitting the fan and you start getting tested on what you believe, you fall. It's like you don't have any faith anymore. Like, why is this happening to me? Like, why am I going through this? Like, what is going on with me? And I went through all of that. I hit rock bottom. I didn't know where my spirits were. I didn't know. I'm just like, and I started going back to my old ways. I started going back to the church. I started saying, you know what, I need to go to church. I started going to church on Sundays with my mother. I started, going to the altar, getting prayer. But that wasn't for me. I don't know about anybody else, but I still didn't feel comfortable. I still felt like I was letting my ancestors down because I had learned so much. And based upon the personal experiences that I had experienced in my life, I knew that this was not for me. So I came back. I said, you know what? Instead of me trying to wear my head wraps and trying to wear my long skirts and listening to reggae music and all this type of music to let people know that I'm conscious, let people know that I'm woke during my spiritual journey, guess what I'm going to do? I am going to be myself. So I had long locks. I cut my locks, grew them back, cut them again. Yeah, but who cares? What happened was I needed to awake within myself. I didn't need to let anyone see that I was woke on the outside. I didn't need to be down with every cause. I needed to awake within myself. And that's what I did. And as I did that, my eyes opened. I began to see things about myself that I didn't like. I began to see things about myself that I love that others may not like. But I balanced myself out. And when I turned 50, it was like, fuck everybody. Because I'm 50 now and I do whatever the fuck I want, say whatever the fuck I want. I've been living on this earth for 50 fucking years. This is me. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And I was still going through my spiritual awakening because now I was older, more mature. And I began to realize a lot of things. I began to see things differently. Even when I still got my little Bible, I began to understand what it meant by certain things in the scriptures. That was my meaning. But that was all part of my spiritual awakening. It wasn't all about putting crystals on my body. It wasn't all about meditating. Let me tell y'all something. My spiritual awakening, I don't fucking meditate because I can't. Because every time I fucking meditate, I fall asleep. So my spiritual awakening, I took classes on how to do herbs because I got my own herb garden. I took classes on using crystals because I wanted to know how to use them. And I bought me a few crystals to help me out in my everyday life. I took classes on essential oils because I wanted to make my own natural product. And so this allowed me to become more aware of everything. My spiritual awakening did deal with the African ancestors. I still got Simbi and Kalfu and the Baron and Mama Oya. I still honor all of them, but it had to come from inside. I had to wake up all the way. I had to be accepting of myself. I had to be accepting that other people are not going to see me like I see me. Other people may not disagree. So I can't get upset with people who don't disagree with me. I had to come to the realization that I wasn't going to force what I believed on others like other religions did. I just wanted to be happy in my spiritual walk. And as I began to develop, things started happening for me in my life. Everything that I would ask for, I got. And if I didn't get it, I didn't get upset and say, oh, that's bullshit. I said, okay, my ancestors know what's better for me. So even though I'm doing all of this and throwing all of this shit down and this is not working out for me, maybe this is not meant. And it wasn't meant because guess what? Something else better came along that I needed. And it taught me to believe more in myself. Because every time I got a reading from someone, they always say, you have to have faith in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. And at that time, I didn't understand what they were saying because, during that time, when I was in my 30s doing this, I thought I did believe. I thought I had faith. But that's not what it was. I wasn't understanding what was being told to me. So I went through a lot. I went through domestic violence. I went through somebody spitting on me, calling me a witch, dragging me. I went through a whole lot only to be accepting of myself. So now I'm 54. In December, I'll be 55. And at 54, 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 is my number. And this year here, so far, I am still awakening. Nothing never stops. Your spiritual awakening should never stop. You should always include more. You should always pull in more. You should always keep learning until you make that transition. Because if you get to a certain age or a certain time in your life where you feel that you are done with your spiritual awakening, that's when shit will hit the fan. Because we are never done with our spiritual awakening. We are acquiring knowledge that is requiring us to use it in our everyday life. Every day there should be something new that we've learned in this spiritual awakening. So I don't like when people are saying, oh, I'm awoke, I'm spiritual awakening, and they even look down on other people. Because the moment you start looking down on other people because you got on your head wraps and you got all your beads around your neck and all your fancy rings and you wearing African attire or you're wearing attire that makes you look like you a priest or stuff like that, that's when I realize that you are not awoke. Because one thing that the Christian way of life, when I used to live it, you're supposed to look what's inside a person's heart. And if you still got that shit inside of you, you ain't spiritual awoke. You just trying to manifest on the outside, trying to make yourself look good. But if you're dressing like that and you're not looking down on other people, and that's the way you choose to live your life, then you have arrived. And you can just keep adding on to your spiritual awakening. Because the universe is vast. That spiritual realm is vast. It's a lot out there. Many different people believe in many different things. I watch a lot of documentaries about ancient practices and practices of other people in other countries and other lands. Everybody got their own belief. So I'm saying this because I don't want no one to get discouraged in their spiritual awakening. I don't want no one to say, I tried it and it didn't work for me. No, I don't want anyone to say that. You got the right to believe in whatever you want to believe in. You got the right. A lot of people ask me, do I believe that Jesus is real? You know what I tell people? It is enough people in this universe that believe that Jesus is real. So therefore, they have manifested that power. And if it works for them, it works for them. Who am I to say? I don't know. I know a lot of lies have been told. But who's to say? No one is to say. So I want to say good luck on your spiritual awakening. Keep elevating, keep rising. And I want to thank you for taking your time to listen to me and to listen to what I have to say. And I want everybody to be safe this Memorial Day weekend. Whatever you got going on in your life, be safe and believe in yourself. Okay? Because even though the struggle is real, make the journey easy. Peace.